Hello, hello. Welcome to today's Muscle Tools. Let's tap in and tune in to the frequencies through 432 hertz. Yes. Beautiful. Welcome. I hope you are well and good and choosing love everywhere you go. What do we got? One's flipping already. Hospitality. Okay. Okay. Hospitality. What are you entertaining? A 34. Look at all those owls up in the brain there. Connection to higher self, ascended masters, archangels, ancestors. Hospitality. Yes, they are. Oh, look at all these acorns. Possibility. And then there's this fairy here that's talking to this owl. So it's like guides communicating to each other, through you, to you, for you, because of you. But those acorns are really standing out for me. Potential, right? The acorn holds the destiny of the oak tree, right? The potential. Intention. Why did that feel like two cars there for a second? Intentionally engaging in the world. Intention. To be hospitable is to entertain, to take in, to create safe space for. Safe place, safe space. Hospitality. Let's see what the book has to say about that. That's not it. There it is. A comfortable, bright environment sets the stage for a deep, meaningful exchange. Is your house or apartment a place where people feel comfortable? Do you like having guests and welcome them in a friendly manner? Or would you rather not let anyone into your home? The angels are longing for a benign place that allows them to foster inspiring thoughts and healing conversations among people. There are many paths to healing. Many heart-to-heart conversations conducted in a luminous environment has changed a person's life. Invite people you care about and who you feel might benefit from an inspiring chat, it may turn out different than you think. Yes, it is important to hold space for loved ones, for others, to share wisdom and love and comfort. You know, some people's worlds are so chaotic. And so to step into yours might be a well needed respite. And this intention, I'll get the book for that. I'm pretty sure it's intention. Let's just validate. I think this is one of the ones that I always have a hard time finding. I find it hard to be intentional. It was hard at first. And then we build momentum, right? The new always feels weird and awkward until it becomes comfortable. Intention. Yes, trust is the magical word here. Have trust in the capacity and way of working. You need to stick to your plans and trust that everything will be all right. Okay. So, setting an intentional space. This isn't about letting people come in and you're like, and you're worried about this or that, or, excusing this, excusing that. Don't look over there. Don't do this. Right? That's not having an intentional space sharing moment, right? Okay. We've got Suilo, which is one of the most beautiful of the runes here. So be intentional about the spaces that you share, is what I'm getting. Or the kind of space you hold for people as well. Right? Don't listen to respond. Holding space for someone is to allow them to communicate, to share, to think out loud without trying to control or take over. Something like that. Okay. Success, sensuality, wholeness, life force, and victory, right? It's also the sun. So we love success. It is beautiful. Sowilo holds within it the radiance of the sun. It is the energy of life, strength of character, and completeness. This rune speaks of clear vision, the victory of good over evil, and light dispelling the dark. Good fortune and positivity await you. You have the energy to overcome any challenges and achieve your life goals. Okay. So your hospitality will be a reflection of your own capacity to hold space for others. And we do this with intention, without the overthinking. But with the overthinking, it's kind of like not just overthinking, it's having a lot in your mind, right? So it could be creative ideas, projects, things you want to do, but we can get stuck in that, right? Where it's just all of the thoughts. And to clear the space, this is also holding space for yourself and for the divine to communicate with you. If you've got all these things running rampant in your brain, how are you going to know what bit of information is coming from your spirit team, your guidance, right? Center, your guidance center. You've got to hold space with intention. This will be part of your success. Okay. 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 So the work. Okay, the work you do on yourself, internally, externally, on all of the levels. Right? Look at the work that you have done. And it's creating this safe space around you. And I'm also getting, because if you look at this one, the one that they're working on right now, which is actually the 9th pentacle, because we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 right here. This is the 8 of Pentacles, but they are working on the 9, meaning the 8 has already been done. And it's kind of giving me, and this one looks like a globe, right? The world. So it's like all of the work that has been done on all of the different levels internally, your healing and your shadow work, your inner child work, your parent wounds, your ancestral baggage and genetic trauma memories, your career, your home, your physical body, your mind. And the last thing to complete it is the work in the world. The work in the world. And I'm getting, oh, look, this one even has a heart on it. The work on your heart space. So this diligent work starting to materialize, starting to show in the world, having an effect on the world, all of those things, right? As you heal yourself, your resonance affects. And the 3D realm is the slowest to respond to all of the work. Oh, I got something tickling me. There we go. Okay. So this beautiful work, I also want to say that this hospitality, holding space for others may be part of this work that you are shining into, moving into. Holding space for. Okay, we've got the Knight of Cups coming in here, a messenger knight. Passionate, pure intention, on the move, with a cup, with something emotionally to share, something emotional to share. This could be an opportunity that makes you feel good. What else we got? These two came out. Okay, your experience and your magic. And maybe you are the messenger. Yeah, your shared experience. We've got another 8 here. This is my experience card, all those versions of self that you leave behind but become part of this pathway that leads you to your intuition, right? All those times you doubted your intuition, or all those times your intuition showed up, but it took you to get to there. Then you realize, oh, wow, this whole time my intuition has been leading me right on this path. And to High Priestess, I mean, yes, there are secrets, there are unknowns, but she's so tapped in to her higher faculties, right? I feel like the High Priestess is the one who has all the owls on her head. Right? Very tapped in to the spirit realm. She doesn't have to see everything. She's okay in the dark, in the unknown, in the void, because there is a recognition of her own power to move, to be guided, to be led, and a trust, that faith, right? Moving intentionally. So, something about your experience here, experience doing the work, experience of the work, on the work, for the work, because of the work. Okay, High Priestess, I'm gonna put you right there. Beautiful. This one kept peeking at me underneath the deck as I was shuffling. It really wanted to come out. This is that transition. This is that shift of focus from the old way to a new way. This is momentum building as the shift is occurring. It's kind of like the in between, but it's also, because it's a pentacle, it's a reorganizing, but bound to the physical realm, the slow moving. And today, these markings, drawings, doodles, sketches, details are standing out to me in the swirl, in the atmosphere, in the background. And I feel like this is the experience and the work. Maybe it's experience and work coming together. Maybe it's a infusion and inclusion, integration of your work on self and your experience in life Well, of course, right? Of course they would intermingle because they are one of the same. As you are doing the work, you are experiencing, right? I mean, it makes sense. So I feel like this is all what is adding to your magic, to your power, to your knowing, right? You have so many experiences of things in the past where you knew and you didn't know how you knew, and then later on in life those things turn out to be true. Well, this confirms your knowing, right? And you have enough of those in your experience in your past, and it starts to form patterns and pictures that validate, verify, support this connection, this ability, this acknowledgement of who you are. Sitting on top of the world. Okay, the world is also giving me this completion, right? One revolution around the sun is a year, and then it starts over again, starts anew. This end of a cycle, this cycle, but also good things coming back at you. The world is kind of like a well, sitting on top of the world, like it's a newness. There's a newness to it. Look at, she's dancing in the center of the world, and this conspiracy that's happening all around. Gold, the planets aligning and moving, and things growing and sprouting, and roots unfurling and stabilizing. As you settle in to this inner deep knowing and recognition of self, of your power, the more the world looks different, right? You're seeing through different eyes. You're seeing through the eyes of love and potential, right? We got all those acorns, all those possibilities. Wow. Wow. The sun. Success, victory, joy, peace, balance, prosperity, fruition, victory, gorgeousness. This is your transformation and becoming a magical high priest or high priestess, right? There's no gender, but this is the intuitive, this is the feminine aspect of the magical, right? The intuition, the knowing, the being, the seeing, the feeling, the creating. Okay, anything else wanna come out? I mean, the sun is kind of like, yes. So I want to say that you have messages to share from your experience. You have experience. You've had experiences. You've lived. You've done work. You've seen things. You know things. This is why creating an intentional space and holding intentional space for others, right? Sometimes you recognize that sometimes all people need is a sounding board, someone they can come and feel safe with and just put everything out onto the table and look at it, right? And by offering this to people, you become a facilitator for their growth, on their journey, for their work, for their experience. This is how we ripple and affect and collaborate with the collective healing and expansion. Okay. We'll just leave it at that. Okay, let's get an animal oracle here. Tell us something. Okay, we've got water and air, whale, and a moth. Okay, moth. Impulsive, hasty, and wishful. The moth is sure the grass is greener on the other side. Moth energy is at play when we're attracted to easy solutions or anything shiny and new. This can lead to unfinished projects, disappointment, or burnout. It's helpful to remind moth personalities that life is complex. No matter the illusion, no one is exempt from the trials and tribulations of this great journey. Practice seeing life as an infinite mystery rather than wishing it was easier or different. When in balance, enthusiastic and whimsical. When out of balance, idealizes others and jittery to bring into balance, finish a project. Okay, and so what I'm getting, this has been your experience, right? This is part of the wisdom that you have to offer, this recognition, this acknowledgement. We're all on our paths, on our own journey, on our own pathway back to our power, our sovereignty, our intuition, right? And this is why it is even being someone who has walked through the fire and survived, to hold space for someone who is still in the process of walking through the fire. You're letting them know that no, you can't take that away from them. You can't remove them, take them out of it, because you recognize the importance of making it through and getting to the other side. And so you act as a beacon, a waypoint, a survivor, right? A living example of what it looks like on the other side. And this, I know it's hard, but you've got this, and I'm going to be there when you get there, right? Even though you're there with them now, but you know what I'm saying. Okay, yes, you cannot, no one is exempt from the trials and tribulations of this great journey. Exactly. The pathway, the stepping stones, right? It's all part of it. Mine the gold, find the gems, the wisdom, and keep on. Keep on keeping on. Okay, and whale. There's a whale, there's a whale. Desire to delve deeper, profound peace and ancient wisdom. The whale represents profound emotional health and stability. Whale personalities are not afraid of emotional expression or traversing difficult terrain, as they have overcome many challenges in their lives. These experiences have enriched them, giving them stability, strength, and a depth that is rare. Whale energy is usually linked to the feminine forces of compassion and communication. Beautiful. We can depend on whale personalities when all else seems lost and trust them to be a beacon in our darkest hour. Wow. Beautiful, beautiful confirmations from the whale. This is the messages that you are bringing. When in balance, calm, steady, deeply compassionate. When out of balance, heavy and slips into the old story. And to bring into balance regular self-care. Yes, I am trying to do that with myself as well. This not slipping back into the old story, just taking the, I think this is why parables were a thing, right? Because when you repeat the same story, you lock yourself into that. But if you are able to speak on the lessons of the story without revisiting it, which is where the parable comes, right? It's a detachment. It's not necessarily a story that I am telling that is mine, but it is vastly intertwined with the wisdom from my own experience, something like that. So it's tricky, but I think there's a way to do it. There's a way to do it, right? Because we don't want to hold grudges and we don't want to go there again. We don't want to be there again. We just want to examine the gold. We just want to look at the gem, right? And that's what we share, this gem. This is what I learned through my experience, right? Something like that. But I think there's a quiet, it's more about holding space for others along their journey. A quiet knowing, a wisdom. It's wisdom. Okay, regular self-care. Yes. This is how we maintain, right? This is why it's intentional hospitality. We're ready for it, right? You clean the room, you make the tea, you set the teacups and the honey and the environment, right? And then this is an intentional space holding, space setting. Then you bring in your company, your guest, your other into this space and hold it for them. Okay. What else should we look at? Is this a gentle chaos moment? I feel like it might be. Just that concept, gentle chaos. It's almost like by offering wisdom, by standing at the end of it when people are going through it, you're offering a bit of peace, right? You probably didn't have somebody standing at the other end being like, it's okay, this is part of the process. And so all the more reason why you recognize how beneficial that can be in those moments, right? Okay. Let's get a gentle chaos card. The curtain, the declaration, the goblin of all things, of all lost things and stuff, and the facade. Okay, well, let's see here. Gentle chaos. The curtain. There is so much to be said about the rise and fall of the curtain, grand beginnings and somber ends. Sometimes you cannot have one without the other. Whatever opportunity seems to come to a close for you, remember that it is just as much a beginning in disguise. When one curtain closes, another opens. Okay, something to marinate upon. The declaration. The message is clear. Say it to yourself. I am magic. Whatever you face, whatever you are battling, you are and will always be magic. Say the declaration to yourself. Okay, High Priestess. This is also a recognition of your own power, of how far you've come, of being one standing on the other side of it, going, I made it, right? Okay. Then we have the facade. The buildings in this shot, while beautiful, are actually sets for a movie. The facade tells us that there might be something in your life that, while beautiful, isn't truly nourishing your soul. Take time to question the authenticity of those around you. Yes, a lot of falsities out there. This is another aspect of the High Priestess and her ability to see beyond things, through things, around things, right? Also, her ability to perceive truth through facades. This is why trust, clear the mind, allow your spirit team, nervous system, all of the senses to communicate to you truth. What is happening? What is happening? Okay, the goblin and all of the stuff, all lost things and stuff. The shadowy and misty enigma, their true form is non-corporeal. They are transient and love dark and warm spaces. They are the reason for the majority of misplaced items, whether socks, hair ties, or jewelry. The goblin of all lost things and stuff reminds us to add a little spice and to look for the beings who make the seemingly random things in our lives happen. Okay. Okay. I don't know about those things. I'm putting them back. We'll keep this declaration. We'll keep the magic. Okay, let's Let's do one more thing from buffet. Oh, okay. Wild one. The wild one cards want to come out today. Guess it's been a while. These are actually the wild woman cards, but I try to make it wild one cards. Try to make it less gender, but I guess it's speaking to the feminine aspect. What's that? Somebody flipped in there. Shadow. Okay, Shadow. Her name is Shadow, and she lives and breathes deep in the passionate well of existence in the dark heat of the wild moon of your soul. Under the buried well of deep passion and effervescent pain lies some of the truths of her story shaping the person you are now. Shadow, all of her, is part of you. This card asks you to bring her forward. Living in the trenches, she leads and follows, inspires and breathes yourself, and holds a longing to embellish your story. Inspired, she is fluorescent in the joke that you can be alive without her. Back and forth, the paradox of light and dark, the ability to hold both and balance them is difficult, yet possible. The richness of shadow, the primal scream of courage to exist flatters her darkness forward, suffering the gifts of growth and the expansion of self. She has so much truth to tell you and lies to dispel. This wild woman embraces shadow and recognizes that we live in a planet of light and dark, daytime and nighttime. It is natural, normal, inevitable, and healing to embrace both. Embrace your darkness, look within, ask for its teachings, embellish the richness of your story. Beautiful confirmation. Yeah, embellish the richness of your story. It's like focus on the wisdom, the gem, the gold that you excavated from the experience. When you share. When you share. Okay, let's get a love card here. Where are we in time? Where are we in the space and the time? So you have experience of the work that you have done or are doing to share, a message to share of your integration. Wow. What do we got? Oi, oi, oi. Okay, these two flipped up, past and acceptance. Through the power of love, you release any stagnant situations or energy in order to transform your heart space. Acceptance, you are ready to release control of situations or people and lovingly embrace the rhythm of life. And then these two. Patience and loyalty. You are able to let the universal energy of transformation move according to its own loving rhythm. Divine timing, yes. And loyalty. Your reliability demonstrates your loving sense of devotion and consistency of being. Beautiful. Look at all this heart space, this green heart space. Gorgeousness. Okay, and a kitty card to close. Message from the kitties. Meet Spiral. He is always searching, reaching, seeking, and questioning. He even looks a little bit like a question mark. He is an endlessly curious kitty, peering into the mystery and seeing what stars he can bring home to his family. Follow this kitty as you spiral inward and seek to understand yourself more fully. Peer deep into what you feel, what you believe, and what you know. Ask what is hiding beneath this feeling. Where did this belief originate, and where is it taking me? What are the treasures of meaning and understanding that I can distill from each experience? Spiral is calling you to begin your quest today. So, wherever you are on this journey, it's all for the good of all. It's not, what is it? It's all not for naught. It's not for naught. You got this. You're doing it. Shadow integration, going through, going in, choosing the light. Beautiful. Okay. Those are the messages I've got for you today. So, this hospitality, holding space intentionally for yourself, for others. Beautiful. Beautiful. Remember this declaration. Say it, believe it, know it. You are the high priestess and you're gorgeous. Okay, I hope there's some good stuff in there for you today. Love and appreciate you and hope to see you next time. Bye for now.